All right. Trying something a little bit new. Ian wants to do a recap of the game. So, Ian, go ahead and, give us a spiel. Tell us what happened Sunday with the Cowboys Vikings. A little bit of a kind of a noteworthy performance. So, at further ado,
I would definitely say so. I mean, the Cowboys defense responded to the critics early when Micah Parsons strip sacked Kirk Cousins on the third play from scrimmage. Despite setting up on the opponent's 27, the offense only mustered a field goal, which remained the lone blemish on an otherwise perfect day. On the opposite side of the ball, the defense faced their biggest challenge in the Vikings' second possession. Though the Purple Men threatened to score from the Cowboys' six, the defense stood firm twice, forcing a field goal. For the remaining 53 minutes, the 8-1 Vikings would never sniff the end zone again. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense proceeded to go 7-8 on third downs and score 20 unanswered before the half. In that same stretch, the defense of the Vikings did 36 total yards. To complete the domination in all three phases, Brett Maher kicked two 60-yarders to defy both the record books and the officials. The onslaught continued after halftime as the Cowboys converted another third down, this time a 68-yard catch and run for a touchdown. Following a three and out, the Cowboys sent the crowd home with their final touchdown of the game. At just the 8-minute mark in the third, the score was 37-3. The U.S. Bank Stadium was empty, and Jim Nance was running through his dad jokes that would impress only Rudy Guerra. By the game's end, the Vikings must have felt a weird sense of relief seeing their conqueror from last year, Cooper Rush, take the field. Fellas, how would you feel about that overall dominating performance?
I mean, it was like you said, it was in all phases of the game. So it it was defensively a masterclass between from the beginning from Micah, and then Dorrance goes ahead and has himself a day. And then offensively, you ran the ball very well when you went to the air. It was very nice as well. I think my biggest criticism or concern almost is misplaced because we won by so much. But more than anything, I'm kind of mad at Kellen Moore. You rewatch that game, and Minnesota secondary was almost giving you stuff because we were doing what we were doing, go run to the yard marker and turn around. Just run to the first down marker, turn around. We did that multiple times, and a few times it did work, but that's more than anything, that's Minnesota secondary allowing it. So I just think that we got to step up our play calling again because as far as execution, we were perfect.
so Rudy, you're telling me that the pun curse. It's been a curse for the Vikings offense. Didn't move you as Ian said. But I told y'all, man. I told y'all that Vikings defense old and slow. And as much as people wanted to get on the Cowboys for the Green Bay performance, it wasn't like they played poorly against Green Bay. It was more of a you just kind of choked it away. So to sit there and pretend that this was surprising? No, because honestly, I kind of told y'all last week that this is how it's gonna go. With the and you kind of poo pooed me when I was saying, yeah, they match up pretty well against Minnesota, and you're just like, oh, matchups. But I think it kind of showed for itself, especially when Minnesota wanted to get away from the running game, which, by the way, they don't really necessarily run the ball as much as they did in the past this year. So call it what you want about getting away from it, or doing the Cowboys a favor by not running it. That's just who they are, bro. They just love to do certain things like that.
That's an interesting point you bring up. Rudy, you mentioned that we were looking for a response, or Justin, I can't remember who said it, but I think there was two questions being asked on by the defense. Questions were being asked, and Dak Prescott was being asked. But first, if we go with the defense, Justin, is it something as simple as, or I guess the matchup that concerned me was our banged up secondary going against these receivers. But you kind of highlighted the point that the reason this team was successful was because the Vikings kind of played stupid on offense. Um, do you think that was like that's what the key is? It's just the other team being stupid, or
No, no, no,
do you
no,
think
no,
the
no, no.
Cowboys just
See,
executed to perfection?
you shouldn't fear any team passing the ball on the Cowboys, because the thing that separates the Cowboys from a lot of teams in the NFL is that pass rush. And Honestly, you saw it on display there. I mean, when the floodgates open, they open. Have a backup left tackle, it opens up. Which, by the way, I don't understand how duels and concussion protocol we can get another concussion. Yeah, that don't sound pretty good to me. But however, if the offense does the bare minimum and gives this team a lead, hey, the sky's the limit. I don't care who you are. You can try and run the ball or whatever. And if the offense plays like it does this past week, and gives you that big lead, you won't be able to keep running the ball, and you definitely don't want to be passing against this defense because you kind of sign up for what you just saw, 7 sacks or whatever. I mean, obviously
Seven
not every
sacks,
game's going to
correct.
be 7. Yeah, but like it's a nasty pass rush, and that's kind of the game plan. You don't want to be in long. That's why when people harp on, the Cowboys D, they don't really stop the run, blah 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 blah. Are enough teams disciplined enough to just keep running the football? I mean, Green Bay kind of just did it because they had no other option. It was, hey guys, we kind of been stinky for the past 5 weeks. Let's try something different. Let's finally listen to Aaron Rodgers. Let's run the ball. But not a lot of teams, in my opinion, are disciplined. And like the only two teams I feel like that have been disciplined enough to do that and just stay with it over and over again and not get greedy, it's been the two Hall of Famers that you played in Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. So going forward, I mean, most of the teams in the playoffs don't got those people at the helm. I mean, only one will probably have it at the helm. But I don't think enough teams get too antsy and too greedy and want to pass the ball. So no, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue.
So I the thing is the two previous times we were knocked out of the playoffs were teams that ran the ball on us, right? The Niners and the Rams, and our defense isn't even the same as what it was when we played the Rams. But that concern does linger because of our run defense this season. There have been teams to run on us. I do think that the Niners would be a team that would stick with it if we were to meet them in the playoffs. And I don't like that we have something that is exploitable to the point to, if you kept at it, you will beat us. I don't like having that vulnerability.
Well,
But
if
as
you
far
if you
as
scared of one opponent, then I mean, quite honestly, the way the bracket's gonna line up, I doubt you really will run into them. But hey, you can quote me on that at November 21st or whatever.
yeah, well,
But
more than anything, I think it's just being aware that opponent's out there. I don't want to just have the hubris that our team can't be beat on the run by any team, especially down the stretch.
well, that's not my point. My point is a lot of teams, the majority of teams, they don't they do what Minnesota does. You would say Minnesota has a good rushing offense now.
No, I got exactly what you're
Yeah,
saying, and you
they
definitely do see teams give up on the run, but that's a real regular season thing to do, and I just
Rudy, you
I think
can't
it's
put it
something we
past
need to
these
be aware of.
coaches, man. These coaches too greedy. They just want to pass the ball over the yard. They don't want to stick with something that's going to matriculate. I mean, like I said, it takes a lot of
Coaches don't want to
takes a
win,
lot of
Rudy. You got to know that. They rather fill up the box score. But I think you guys both break out good points. But if you guys don't mind, going to the second part of this, Dak Prescott. He was asked a lot of questions. There was always this talk about him having his signature win, or it's his go time. He's 7 years in the league. Blah blah blah. Um, what stat line impressed y'all the most by him? He was 22 of 25 for 276 yards. Uh, he had he was 12 of 17, I think, on third downs, and 0 interceptions. But he also converted first downs with his legs. What part of his game impressed y'all the most?
For me, it was the legs. I like the versatility. Those numbers that you pointed out were numbers that he's actually done in the past. His rookie year, he was really good at not turning the ball over and very accurate when we needed him to be. So I know he can do that. There was a little concern with getting over this injury if he's still a dual threat quarterback. So seeing that part of his game to me is the biggest and best part of it.
I would probably say that throw before half. I mean, had that been who, Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, or who want Justin Herbert, wouldn't that you would think that throw would lead Sports Center, no, or would lead every other
They'd
Twitter
still be
account, you know?
playing. It'd be on Monday
Oh,
night
oh,
right
one
now.
hundred percent. And the fact that it's little old Dak that they don't want to give him, well, let me relax. But he's not going to get credit for that throw, which it was a pretty good throw. I mean, obviously Romo on the broadcast alluded to was Aaron
That's
Rodgers
underselling it.
esque 2016, but I mean, the way that people talk about Dak, do you think if you showed them that highlight blindfolded or whatever, like edged out the star, edged out the nameplate, whatever. If you think you would have showed someone like the random person on the street that play and been like, who do you think that is? You think Dak Prescott would come up when they would say that? So obviously, as much as people want to kill him for, he's underperforming this year, I just think every year you're seeing this stack of growth. Because 2016, he ain't making that throw in 2016. And a lot of the plays that were made yesterday, just going through progressions. A little, hey, you know what? Let me just check it down to Tony Pollard. Boom, that comes a touchdown. Oh, let me just you know, consistently take what the defense is giving me, even though like the stat line before halftime was like sub 100 yards until that CD pass. Like that was winning football though, and it wasn't so much the yardage; it was the yardage that converted the first downs, and that's the kind of the recipe for success, if you ask me.
Yeah, and if I could add to that, exactly what you said, taking what the defense gives you. So we talked about earlier that our route schemes aren't the greatest right now. What Kellen Moore is putting out there isn't the greatest, but you're seeing exactly that. If you watch that game, Dak checks it down at least once or twice a drive because that's what was given. And I'm glad that we're seeing that. You know, you see a lot of quarterbacks just waiting for the deep ball to open up or trying to use their legs or something. Just take what the defense gives you, and we're doing that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and let's not forget this is only his fourth game back from a 4-week layoff. And if we're going to talk about his trajectory, or if people are going to bring up his trajectory last year going down, it certainly is climbing. Also, we're finally getting a nice smash and dash that throws us back to the Felix Jones, Marion Barber days. Guys, what do you think about these running backs? I mean, clearly one of these backs can make something, can run in the open field, and the other one can get 1 yard when he needs it, when it's needed.
I think it's perfect. Before the season, I mentioned it. You can maximize these running backs. You can do it. You don't need to force 20 to Zeke or 20 to Tony just because. This is exactly what I want to see. You saw how, and having Tony Pollard do the first 2 carries in the red zone right there because he deserves it. I don't like that. I don't like that talk at all. Zeke had fresher legs and is better in that situation. Put him in to make the play. Put the player who can make the play in the position to make the play. And so between the running backs, I'm glad that they're starting to be put into those positions, and it can be real deadly between the two.
Wait, so Rudy, let me ask you: Are you trying to give Pollard a contract at the end of the year?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not a fan of paying 2 running backs on the roster, so probably not. No.
Can we not franchise him?
You can. That's just the same people that want to criticize Zeke want to give up money for Pollard as well. Whew.
No, but I'm not worried about the offseason either. I have both these running backs on my roster today, and I should capitalize on them today. And we can get to the offseason whenever we get there.
But before we get out of this segment, I think a big kudos needs to be said about Brett Maher. I mean, we all remember 2019. That old man couldn't hit the backside of the barn with a kick. But to go out there the way he did, obviously it's highlighted by the 60-yarder to hitting it twice before halftime. But I mean, we haven't said his name at all this year as far as poor play. I mean, that dude has really obviously had that stint in New Orleans last year where he kind of turned around his career. But it's encouraging to see that that wasn't just a fluke and that this man is able to hold the rope for so long. I mean, the way he has this whole entire season.
Yeah, a credit to Brett. I thought that was definitely going to be an area to to be concerned with, and the fact that I haven't had to freak out about it, that feels good. So, good job, Brett.
Yeah, he's made the most of his opportunities for certain. So we got a game Thursday, quick turnaround at home. Justin, you mentioned something about teams sticking to the run. They don't have the discipline. Well, this team, I wouldn't say sticks to the run out of game plan, out of necessity, because there's nothing Daniel Jones can do through the air that really scares me. Are you guys concerned at all with this matchup, even though we handle
I
business in the Meadowlands with Cooper Rush?
Again, you still got to make plays in the passing game, no matter how much you run the rock. I mean, you kind of saw it in the Philly game. No, like the Colts were running the rock. They still needed to make plays in the passing game and convert these. So, especially with Wan'Dale Robinson being hurt, and obviously Sterling Shepard got hurt the last time that these two teams played. Giants gonna be rolling out there with what? Darius Slayton, Kenny Galladay, and who's the other dude? I forget the other receiver's name. Watch him have like a career day now that I can't remember it. But that dude Daniel Jones went back to the old Daniel Jones I know, turning that football over. So like Saquon, all well and good. Like he one of my MVPs as we discussed last week. But I mean, yeah, he'll get his numbers, but like, is it gonna matter? I don't think so.
Yeah, and look, I know it's a divisional game, and divisional games can be tight, tend to be tight. The Giants have done nothing this year that scared me. Like, I understand what their record is. I get the hype. They don't scare me. And look, they're probably Saquon will probably have a good day. That's fine. I truly think that we're going to get the best of them by a good margin. I like what we do offensively. I think defensively we'll get the stops we need. So I'm not too concerned going into that one.
All right, before we go any further, there's two quarterbacks that don't belong in this league. Obviously, we're seeing right now a career backup, Colt McCoy, that's found a way to stick in this league somehow, some way by doing the little things, right? The intangibles. But two quarterbacks drafted 1 and 2, they don't belong. They got to go. That's the Faker and Zach Wilson. Oh, not only did our streak have to rely on Baker Mayfield, which I didn't know at the time that I thought PJ Walker was going to be healthy enough to start, but it lived despite Baker trying to give that cover away. But if I wasn't disgusted enough by that performance, the performance up in the Meadowlands, the performance up in Foxborough by another young gun at the helm was even grosser. I'm assuming, did y'all see the press conference, the post game press conference?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I heard about it. Yep.
I mean, if that wasn't already worse enough, I don't know. Ian, you're the body language police. I'm assuming you saw the Garrett Wilson clip.
I did not.
Okay, well, if the people in the audience like Ian didn't see this clip, Garrett Wilson runs a slant on a key third down, and this man is open. I mean, he's not wide open, but he's open, pretty well open for NFL standards. And old Zachy Wilson throws to Denzel Mims behind them and into the dirt. And could Garrett Wilson, obviously, according to Ian, the body language police, could he have better controlled his emotions? You could, but I can't blame him. That was a key spot in a key game, and that man just lost his mind in the middle of the play after the ball hits the turf. Just out here irate. And then if that wasn't enough to tell you that man needs to read the room, all these these DBs and defensive players for the Jets favoriting tweets talking about how bad that quarterback played. But again, he don't belong in this league.
No, he doesn't. This was a quarterback that when he was coming back to take that job, I was telling you, please stick to 37-year-old Joe Flacco. Oh my goodness, your offense will get infinitely worse under Zach Wilson, and it has. And he's taking zero accountability, zero blame to inform the audience what Justin, Ian, and I were alluding to with the reporters and Zach Wilson. They asked him essentially, is your defense, or was it just who's to blame? Or essentially they were asking, like, what's
Did
wrong
you
with
let
this?
your defense down? Or
Did you let your defense
the
down?
offense
And he
defense
goes, nope. He said he did not.
on a day that he had 77 yards passing, and they scored 3 points. Forget
Zach
how
Wilson,
they lost. That's the real story, is him.
He'll be collecting paychecks throughout the rest of the season, and he could potentially do it next season. But, there's no reason for him to do it beyond that. He shouldn't be collecting checks tomorrow. It's crazy to me that he's in the league. But, no, get that man out of there. Put in Joe Flacco.
The Jets entered the day with having a say of being tied for the division, first in the division. They left the day in last place because of this man. And
Zach Wilson had one of those days statistically that's hilarious, where it's like if he had just kneeled as soon as the ball snapped to him, his QBR would only be like, 5% less. Like it was such a poor performance, but it was so on brand that I was kind of glad to see it in a way. That guy sucks.
Justin, who was the receiver?
Garrett Wilson.
Okay. Let's think. I got his paperwork right here. But you know what? After hearing that description, I'm going to throw it out. That body language was definitely valid by the way Zach Wilson is playing. And let me say this, Rudy, you lumped me in that man was somebody we called a fraud. But I actually kind of believed in him. So I'm going to have to take an L on Zach Wilson, as well as the man opposite him that match, Mac Jones, who I believed I did hype up last season. And Justin, I would like to throw in a third name. Yeah, Mac Jones, as someone who doesn't belong in the NFL.
A lot of bad quarterback play. Speaking of good quarterback play, Ian, your fellow alumni, Mr. Tannehill, he had a nice little performance on Thursday. I mean, I know we don't talk about the Thursday night games as much, but against Mr. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, the Titans, the team, I mean, I think we kind of disrespected them a little bit at the beginning of the season, but this team gets the most amount of disrespect, and all they do is play physical and win football games. And I think that was on full display in Lambeau on Thursday as well.
Well, let's be honest. If you're rocking those uniforms in the National Football League, the disrespect is definitely deserved. I mean, those uniforms are trash. Fortunately, I was catching the alternative broadcast to keep me entertained throughout that match. But yeah, Tannehill did his thing. And, Derek Rainey went off too. So,
yeah. I mean, okay, I'll be fair. I disrespect the Titans. I don't put them in that echelon of AFC teams that could potentially fight for a conference championship, much less the actual Super Bowl. So, I mean, they keep winning.
Bro,
they're winning.
They mean, man. They be hitting me in the mouth.
Exactly like you said. They're a physical
I know
team.
people don't like. I know people don't like.
Justin, if that was San Francisco, you'd be upset. By the way, they're like, it's football. They're supposed to hit them in the mouth, boy.
They do. Both of them teams hit you in the mouth.
They play.
That's
physical.
how they get it done.
It's football. What are we talking about?
Generic talk.
They're mean, bro. Both of them are mean.
The pads pop.
They do. Their pads were popping on Thursday, both offensively and defensively. I mean, okay, another football cliche that gotta go out the door. Football weather. The fact that these idiots wanted those two teams to play in 77 inches of snow. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No, yeah, that's look, I like snow games. I like inclement weather, but that was That was a snowstorm. It was too much. It was ridiculous.
See, this is why I know y'all hate me for requesting domes, but this is why we need a dome, Buffalo. Inexcusable, and especially since, bro, you got your uncle, your Mister. You know, back in my day, I would have made it to the college. I would have made D1 if my need, and talking about they're just overpaid. They they're just soft these days. You telling me they can't go out there in the snow? Like what? Why does it mean so much to you that they play in snow, bro? Like just suck it up. They can go play somewhere else. They don't need too much money on the line to be talking about. Oh, they need to be out there in 77 inches of snow. Give me a break.
All right, y'all. It's that time of the week where we do our weekly pick'ems.
Where Rudy loses all the time.
And
yeah, let's just rename the segment.
Ian, why don't you go ahead and let us know how we're doing?
It's just about the same, my friend. About the same. Because, I mean, I'm sure you already know who's bringing up the rear. One Rudy Guerra with a 9-5 record. I'm counting the San Francisco a W for all of us. I'm in second place with 10-4, and Justin, another leading the pack week at 11-3.
One game out.
Back
Let's
to you.
go.
All right, and we're going to start this week off with Thanksgiving, where the Detroit Lions play host to the Buffalo Bills. Fellas, who do y'all have winning that one?
Well, obviously Buffalo, but again, remember, you come to this podcast to make money, and I think
Whoa,
we're
hang
on.
All rise. The honorable is now in court. Rudy, rise.
You hear it. We come to this podcast to make money, and right now I think we're on a 5 game win streak. 4 in a row. We're undefeated right now since we implemented this segment. And our picks of the week, we don't necessarily win games, but we cover. That's for sure. And
we win
Baker
money.
Mayfield. Exactly. Baker Mayfield wanted to take food off of our plate last week, and he tried to throw away that cover. But Lamar and the Ravens, they said no, sir. They said we want you to cover, and that's why I told y'all to take them damn Carolina Panthers to cover, because the Ravens, they just don't want to blow nobody out. This week, 9.5 for Buffalo over Detroit on Thanksgiving. Man, this is a different Lions team. They may not win this game, which they won't, but they for sure are gonna cover. So again, smash that. Go to your favorite bookie. Do what you gotta do. Do it the legal way. Whatever y'all gotta do. But we're gonna look to go 5-0, stay undefeated, and it's gonna start off right with game number 1. But Rudy, my pick is Buffalo.
All right.
The court is now
Ian?
out of session. Yeah, I'll take the Bills.
And
I need more theater from Justin.
We'll have like a gavel banging. I'll buy a gavel and have it here. Okay. Or well, you're the judge. I should give it to you. Moving on. We've got another Thanksgiving game. This time, your Dallas Cowboys are playing host. They'll be hosting the New York Giants. Who do y'all got in that one, fellas?
Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, give me them boys.
And it's Cowboys for me as well. All right, and the last Thanksgiving game, we've got the Patriots traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings.
Oh,
who do y'all got there?
Minnesota. Yeah, give me as Joe Biden would say, the Vikings.
Yeah, I too will take the Vikings.
Yeah, I'll say the Vikings bounce back and win that one. Moving on, we've got the Texans traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Who do y'all got there?
The Fins.
Give me the Dolphins.
What a kind of stinky week already.
Moving on, we've got the Bengals traveling to Tennessee to take on the apparently much disrespected Titans.
Oh
Who
yes,
do y'all got?
this is where a statement is going to be made for the old Titans. Give me the Titans in this one.
Ian?
Yeah, give me Titans.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I'll stop disrespecting them. I'll say the Titans.
Let it be known, my pick
Moving
isn't
on.
respect. It's just there's more disrespect to the Bengals than there is to the Titans.
Okay, fair enough. Noted. In the battle of the toilet bowl, we've got the Broncos traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Who do y'all have there?
Give me Denver because I mean I don't know if PJ Walker is going to be healthy, and so they might have to trot out the faker again. And him against that Denver defense, yuck.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Broncos as well.
All right, give me the Broncos. Disgusting.
Rudy, it's okay not to lose money. It's okay. Like I know you want to make up ground, but you
More
still
than
got a lot of
anything, it's
football to
just
play.
no. More than anything, it's picking the Broncos at any point in the season. But they're playing Carolina, so whatever. Moving on. Bears traveling to Jersey to take on the Jets. Fellas, who you got?
Mm, I think Salah's press conference swayed me enough that he's going to start the right man at quarterback. So I'm taking the Jets, Jets.
Yeah, I'll take the Jets as well.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
This man just resigned
Give
to
me
his
the
fate. He
Jets.
can't even say the team's name. He just yeah.
So
Who murdered me?
is that a New York for you, Rudy?
Yeah, it is. God, dog. All right. This sucks. Moving on. Falcons traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders. Fellas, who you got?
This is a tough one. Um, you know what? Give me Washington. Atlanta can't put 2 weeks of good football together. No way.
For the love of God, local TV, please do not put the Commanders v Falcons game on. With that being said,
You know it's coming. You know it's
I don't know what
coming.
it is. Like it's they're in our division, so we gotta show them. It's so
That's it right
give me the
there.
just give me the Commanders though.
All right, clean sweep. Jesus Christ. Commanders for me. Moving on. The Buccaneers are traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Who do y'all have?
What week is this?
Week 12, I think.
I don't think he comes back till the Texans game because that's what they
Okay,
always
yeah, I
say.
was gonna say. Oh yeah, that's right.
Otherwise, I thought that
Sorry.
would be a good dark horse pick.
No. We don't pick for redacted. Nonetheless, give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I too will take the Buccaneers.
Fools. Give me the Browns.
See, this is why
I'm
you're in
actually
that
getting that
hole,
one
Rudy.
right. No, hey, everyone listen out there. On Sunday, remember to take a look at that Browns game and realize that Rudy got one up on these boys. All right. And moving on. The Ravens are going to be traveling to Jacksonville. Fellas, who's winning that one?
Baltimore.
The team that is the most unserious, Baltimore Ravens. Give me the Fighting Lamar Jacksons.
Uh, yeah. I can't pick the Jags. All right. Raiders are traveling to Seattle, take on the Seahawks. Who y'all got?
The Seahawks.
Yeah, give me the Seattle Seahawks.
I too will take the Seahawks, and that's not even a hard one. The Raiders are terrible. Moving on to the last one was a 3 o'clock game as well. Another 3 o'clock game. The
Putting the
Chargers are
Raiders at
traveling
3
to
again.
Arizona.
Oh,
Chargers at Arizona
oh
in
my
Justin's
goodness
in a
gracious.
matchup of two of Justin's favorite teams. Who do y'all got?
How's Arizona one of my favorite teams?
You love them.
I know why you being facetious talking about or sarcastic talking about the Chargers being my favorite team, but
You're a big Staley guy.
oh yeah. By the way, I shout out to him for taking his points this time. Obviously, it ended the same way it always ends, but that had nothing to do with him kicking a field goal before half. But give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I don't know what Kyler Murray's status is, but give me the Chargers.
He ain't coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Colt. But the Chargers are pretty unserious.
Are you seeing
Yeah,
the Cardinals
old
right
man
now?
Colt is gonna get it done. Give me the Cardinals.
Adult.
Oh my god.
All right, that wasn't my greatest pick, but it'll work out. Moving on. Saints traveling to San Fran to take on the Niners. Who y'all got?
The 49ers, unfortunately.
Yeah, give me the 49ers.
Clean sweep for the 49ers. Moving on. The Rams will be traveling to Kansas City. Who's winning that one?
The Ram. Oh, woo. What am I talking about? Kansas City.
Yeah, how about those Chiefs? Give me the Chiefs.
Chiefs. And Sunday Night Football. Packers are traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Who do y'all got?
Dodo.
Hey, that's copyrighted. Don't be doing that.
You know, we're playing with a little bit of house money. Why not the Packers? Let's go. Yes, we're gonna go with the Packers.
Give me the Steagles.
This man Justin is so cocky. He said I'm playing with house money.
I'm a gain back. You know, Ian kept picking the same teams as me. I gotta gamble a little bit. Come on, like one game ain't gonna kill me. Like,
All right. Eagles for me. And finally, Monday Night Football. We've got the Steelers traveling to Indy to take on the Saturdays. Who do y'all got?
give me the Saturdays.
Crap. Give me the Steelers.
It might be a Monday, but I'm going Saturday.
Woo!
Just recycling jokes. What?
Just like Jim Nance. Just like Jim Nance with
Well,
like,
last time it was a Sunday, so I got to use the Monday one when I can.
Okay, fair enough.
Rudy Nance making an appearance. Anything else?
No.